Wow. Hi everyone, I'm Anton from Anton's MINDSTORMS Hacks. Today is a very special day. It's a day I've been looking forward to for a long time because I'm going to be able to unbox this new MINDSTORMS kit. It's a kit that we've all seen. We've seen the advertisements, and now I'm going to be able to actually touch the new hub and pieces for the very first time. This MINDSTORMS kit doesn't have a name, a three-letter name like EV3 or NXT, so it's a little hard to refer to it. So you can refer to it, I don't know, as green MINDSTORMS because it's got a green hub, or you can refer to it to MINDSTORMS 5 because the set number starts with a 5 and the EV3 kit started with a 3, or you could refer to it as Robot Inventor set because that's the official name LEGO gave it. Before we open the box, there is a lot of interesting features to look at. For sure, it's a robotics kit, so you can control it with your smartphone. What you see here on the front is that we're going to get this new Technic base plate that we know from the Spy kit. However, here it's in green instead of in yellow, and the cookie here will also be included. There are 5 base models. It's got this gamepad icon here, so in this unboxing video we're actually going to try and build a robot that we can remote control here with this PS4 controller. My channel, Anton's MINDSTORMS, is all about remote controlling robots. That's something I really like. So, for instance, if you click the pop-out banner here, you can see videos of a remote controlled sail wagon or land yacht, and I have made videos of a remote controlled omnibot with a rubber band cannon. So remote control is what I like, and remote control is what we're going to do in this unboxing video. Now let's have a look at the back of the box here. This is a laptop, so we're going to try to remote control the hub with a laptop, and this is a phone icon here, so I'm also going to use my phone and try to remote control that first robot. The size of the new box is about the same as the old EV3 set. Actually, it's exactly the same, as you can see. There is an icon here showing a battery, so batteries are included now. It's a rechargeable, I think, lithium polymer battery, so no more juggling AA batteries. We will have 4 motors, that's really awesome. We will have a light sensor and an ultrasonic sensor. Okay, now it's time. Let's dig in. Wow, seems like this box has got more usefulness than the EV3 box because it's got a lid and you can actually lift it off, and I think you'll be able to put built or half-built models back inside. Seems like there is the beginning of some sorting boxes in there, but don't really see the usefulness of that. Let's see what we have in the bag. We again have these rubbery parts that you know from the EV3 feet. Those are interesting to connect studded pieces to Technics pieces. Let's first have a look at the hub, because actually I'm really looking forward to holding a hub in my hands. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, shiny new. What do we have? Okay, comes with a the battery packed outside. Let's see if it comes out. Okay, so this is the new lithium-ion rechargeable battery. It's got 2100 milliamps per hour, so that's a pretty decent battery here. And so apart from the battery, the hub is actually really small, so there must be a really small print board inside, and most of it is just space to put pins in. I'm going to assemble the hub here, so it goes only one way, so, and there is a little ridge here that goes in there, so there is a little ridge here, goes in there, boom, we have a hub. Let's see if it's charged a little bit and if we can power it up right away. There you have it, the play icon. So this is very different from the Spike Prime hub, so it's more or less the same hub except that it's green, and contrary to the Spike Prime hub, this one boots into a play icon, so there will be different firmwares probably, and the Spike Prime boots into a hard icon. It feels like it weighs a lot less than the EV3 hub. Actually, I'm going to get a scale and see what the actual difference is. Here I have a trusty old EV3 hub, and let's see what the actual difference is in weight. This one is 286 grams. That's a respectable weight. Let's see what this one is. With the rechargeable battery, only 147 grams. So that's quite the difference here. It's half actually. It's almost half the weight of the EV3 hub, which means you can build much simpler robots. You don't need as much plastic to support the hub and make your robot walking or drive it around. So I think that's one very big advantage of the new hub, that it's so much lighter. It doesn't have a display like the EV3, but I'm not sure that I'll miss it because it connects to so many smart devices, and the EV3 display wasn't very legible anyway. So I think these 25 pixels that we have here will just do for now. What's also very nice is that this hub has got 6 ports, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one has got 8. However, this hub can take a motor in all ports. This means you can use 6 motors with this one, whereas here you were limited to 4 motors on the lettered ports. So that's one big advantage here again. Plus, this hub has got an internal accelerometer, so none of your sensor ports will be taken up by an accelerometer. And the motors, let's have a look at the motors here. As you can see, these motors have a center icon on them. And that is because they have an absolute positioning centers. However your robot is moving, you always know where the center of your robot is, which actually also saves a sensor. In the EV3 I used the touch sensor a lot for calibrating my motors, and now it's all done internally. So that's another great advantage there. And then we get no less than 4 of these beautiful new motors. Let's have a further look at these motors. We have pinholes on this side, on the back side, on the other side, none here, none in front for mounting, but 4 or 5 pinholes here on the wheel, and some pinholes there. There is a rotating output port here on the back and the front. However, you can't, they are just like the Spike Prime motors, and unlike the EV3 motors, you can't stick an axle through and through, so you need to stick axles out both sides. Let's unpack the rest of these beautiful motors. Oh, there is another interesting fact here. These motors have fixed cables, so you can't choose longer or shorter cables depending on the build. This means you'll have to do some cable management and roll them up. This also means that this is really the maximum distance motors can be spaced away from the hub. So that's a bit of a disadvantage. However, the pro here is that the motor can be really small, because on the EV3 design much of the motor size was made up of this port, where you could input the cable connector, so they saved a lot of space by having these fixed cables. I don't know what it will mean if you break any cable or there will be damage to the cable. I guess you'll have to throw away the whole motor, because it doesn't look like you can open it up easily and repair it. Okay, there we are, 4 motors. Let's continue with the electronics. There is an ultrasonic sensor, so in a sense this is also an upgrade from the EV3. This ultrasonic sensor is actually more accurate than the infrared sensor that was on the EV3 retail box. There are 2 screw holes here in the back, and you can actually open it up and connect third-party sensors or solder your own. So this part gives you access to a lot of crazy sensors that you can use with this hub. Whereas the last electronic part is this one. Okay, so this is the new light sensor. It is just the same sensor as the spike, and it's really small. It's like half the size of the EV3 light sensor, and you've probably seen Spike, and let's power it on. It's also very, very, very bright, which is really nice. It's much brighter than this one LED that we had on EV3. Okay, so those are the electronics. Let's have a look at the most important plastic parts. So this is a very interesting new part. We get 1 of them. Let's clear this stuff up and use our new box. Okay, so the regular parts go into the box. The interesting parts can stay out of the box, outside the box. Okay, what do we have here? We have panels, curved panels, not much interesting, just regular Lego. We have a lot of blue pins, so that's your regular fare of blue pins. We have more connector pins and some gears. Anything interesting in here? Now, this is pretty regular Technic Lego. Into the box. Grab another bag. Okay, this again is, oh wow, these are nice. I really like these 3 long axles. Unlike the EV3 3-long axles, these don't stick out, so they are very interesting to build with. A lot of these brown gears, small brown gears, they might look inconspicuous, but the new MINDSTORMS set actually includes one of these new differential gears. So let's have a look at that first. So this is one part of the new differential gear. The other part is probably in another bag. This is all regular Lego. Let's get this out of the way. Now this is a nice part. It's the pinhole with the cross axle. It's one of the newer parts. Okay. These frames are your trusty old frames. However, this set has got no less than 5 frames, which I think is really awesome. I remember in the EV3 set always missing frames. There were only 2 regular 5x7 frames, and they are really nice to build with. You can build really fast with them. So I'm really happy that this set now includes 5 of them. Let's find the rest. This is the bag I'm looking for. Oh wow, we even have a bionicle bullet. That's nice. There is the big turntable. That was also a part that I was missing in EV3, so I went out and bought some Technics sets to have some turntables, because I don't know, robots should have turntables. You can build tanks with this, and gun turrets, and all kinds of walking mechanisms, so I'm really happy that this set now includes a turntable. There is a big one. I haven't studied the part list. I guess there will be a small one too. Let's see if we find it. Let's have a look at this. What's inside? Okay, 2 small rubber bands. Cool. And here is the part I was looking for. So that's the other half of the differential gear, and let's just quickly assemble it. It takes all of these small brown gears, one in the back, one here, one there. That's 2, 3, 4, and one up here. And then we close it down like this, and we have this new differential gearbox. I think it's really awesome, because if you ever used another Technics differential gear, you probably know the frustration of these little brown gears falling out all of the time. And right now it's in one compact box, and the gears stay in place, and you can easily add axles. So and then you can see one axle is rotating the other way, so the differential really works. Here you can see that we've assembled it right. It acts like a real differential. Cool, so this is a very interesting new part. I'm looking forward to building cars with it. No less than 2 small turntables, probably half of them, and I really like the new cookie parts. It was one of the big revelations of the Spike Prime that we have this new cookie here to build with. It's very well connected, so it's got pins on all sides. So if you're building in one direction, you want to try to build in another direction, this cookie usually helps you out. Here's a bag with a lot of pins. Let's open it up here. Most of it is regular pins. This is a new part. It's a little ball with an axle hole inside. So you can see it's got an axle hole there, and otherwise it's a little sphere, so you can put it on top of a regular axle, or you can, I guess you can put it on top of one of these rods here, so you can give your robot these antlers or feelers, which is going to be a lot of fun, I guess. This is also a new part. Of course, it's very necessary to do cable management with these fixed cables. So this cable clip here will help you out to do cable management. It's got an axle hole. You can input the cable here and then fix it somewhere with an axle, although I guess most of the time you'll be using these or their blue cousins to fix cables. Cable clips. I suppose we're having 8 of them. Maybe these parts are interesting too. So they also weren't in the original EV3 set. Let's open another bag. So what we have here is lots of interesting parts. Yeah, the ball of course catches the eye here. I think it's a very, yeah, it's a DUPLO ball, I think, originally from one of these slides. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun designing games around this ball. I think it, yeah, it doesn't bounce so well, but it's nice for target practice, and you know, the ball just makes me smile. The color, the size of it, the touch of it, it's a great addition. Then there are these really huge new frames. I think these new frames are beautiful new parts. So I mentioned that I really like building with these frames, and those frames here, the big ones, will help you build even faster, even bigger robots. So because they have these so many pin connectors in so many different directions. So yeah, I think it's going to be great. Then there are the new, yeah, I think they're called mud guards or something. So they're originally from the 4x4 Range Rover, and they were only in olive green, and for this MINDSTORMS set LEGO produced them especially in white. I think they're a great part too. You can make, I don't know, like this, you can make your robot smile, and now it's an old lady, and I don't know, maybe it can even be feet or something. So I believe we're going to see a lot of creativity with these parts. They're giving me a lot of ideas actually. So here we have the bottom part of the small turntable. Let's assemble it. Another small turntable here. Assemble it. This is all regular LEGO tires. These are interesting new parts. Those are the new caster wheels. So if you have a two-wheeled robot tank steering, you can put one of these on top, and it doesn't have much friction sideways. So this means you can drive your robot then everywhere without having to have this swivel here on top, because if you've ever driven a shopping cart, then you know that this swivel sometimes blocks your shopping carts in some directions, and you know, when shopping it's okay, it's just annoying, but when you drive your robot around, it can really mess up your whole program. So I think that's a very nice upgrade from the swiveling wheels on the EV3 here. rubber wheels. Oh yeah, so we have the rims already. Let's assemble them. So small wheels, little axle hole inside, so you could in theory power them. But we're going to do all of that later. Okay, so this is interesting. Here there are new missile launchers. These missile launchers, I think I've seen them in a Ninjago set. They are nice and compact. They're also studded, so they're going to be a little hard to build with, but there is an axle hole here inside. It provides a little grip, but it's a little slidey, so you're going to have to build it in quite firmly. And of course, it being a missile, you can shoot it. I guess real robots should have guns. Okay, so lots of black pins. You can check the full part lists online, and I'll put one on my website too, so we won't be counting them. I'll just open the bags here and drop everything into the box. Okay, more pins. Not much interesting here, except maybe this part. Okay, we're almost there. So I think this is the almost the last bag, except for the USB cable. Well, let's open it anyway. Not sure. Yeah, I have many of those already because I have so many electronic equipment. And then there is a little booklet here. Okay, open it. Quick start guide. Lots of text inside, blah blah, never read that stuff. There it goes into the paper bin, and this is a lot of fun. So I think this is the first MINDSTORMS set with stickers. Oh, I guess the fairing panels on the EV3 had stickers, but these, you're not forced to put these where LEGO wants you to put them, so you can go all creative with these stickers. And I think they're a lot of fun. So we're going to see a lot of custom stickered MINDSTORMS robots there. It'll be a personal experience. Now here is the very last bag. Let's open it up here. Some panels, lots of them actually, 4 of them, which is very nice. The panels are nice for finishing your robot, so it really looks like a mean finished robot, and they double up as extra frames. So the panels also have holes on all sides, so if you ever run out of frames, you can use a panel to make your robot more solid. And oh yeah, and these are the new I think 7 by 11 frames, double in size every time. So this is going to be 11 by 7, because this is 5 by 7, and so about 2 of them go into one of those, and 2 of those go into one of these. So I really like the new lineup of frames. They'll make for quick builds. And then we have these wheels. These wheels are great. We know them from Spike Prime, and I think they have improved over Spike Prime. They're beautiful wheels. I think they are the perfect robot wheels. As opposed to Spike Prime, these wheels have black rubber on the side, which I think is a lot better, because my Spike Prime wheels tended to show dirt marks here very quickly. The light blue went dirty very quickly, so now that it's all black, it won't be dirty so quickly. You can easily attach those wheels to these motors, no bushes in between. So for EV3 you always needed a bush in between the wheel and the motor, and here, you know, you don't even need an axle, just 2 or 4 pins, and it snaps on and you can start driving, which I think is really awesome. The size of the wheels is also perfect because with the speed that they're running, you're having a very nice balance between acceleration and top speed with this size of wheel. Furthermore, what I really like is that the wheels are rounded, so they aren't flat. This means they have a very defined turning point. So if you have a robot that is driving, I guess like this, a tank style robot, the distance between the wheels, and I mean the distance between their touch points, is very important in the calculation for making a 90-degree turns or controlling your turns. And if this distance is very well defined, because those wheels are now rounded. With flat wheels you never know what the exact distance is. If the robot is a bit heavy and goes like this, the distance here between the axles, or the length of the axle, could be very different from moment to moment. So yeah, I think there is a lot of beautiful new parts, a lot of beautiful new robotics items in this set, and I'm really looking forward to play with it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to build a little car, and with the differential gear, this one, and I'm going to build it as fast as I can and try and remote control the car with this PS4 controller. Now, okay, differential gear. This is probably going to go in there. now it's a real race car. Oh, I used the blur gray pin there. Awesome, so now it's a real race car. It can steer, it can drive, and it's got this differential. Okay, the software has updated, and I guess we can start coding now. So let's see if we can first connect this controller. Does it connect to my Mac? Yes, it says here wireless controller connected. So the MINDSTORMS software has recognized it. Then let's see what we have here. So that's regular spike, and let's see what extra blocks they have. So DualShock 4, that's one we need. Model blocks, that's interesting. I saw there was a car-like model. I think it's called MVP. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so this one is called MVP, and it's a car-like model. So with some luck we can reuse these model blocks to program our car. And usually this more movement is nice to use in Scratch. Now let's look at the model blocks. What do we have here? MVP. Oh yeah, we can just remote control it. I'm guessing you'll have to put this into a loop. Let's put this into a loop and let's input controls here. Let's use the DualShock controller and use the sticks. And I'm just going to use a multiplier here in case I'm going to have to reverse any values. So I'm going to multiply it by 1 for now and put it in here. Duplicate this, put it in there. So what do I want? I want the left stick to be power forward and backward. So left stick and then, oh yeah, left and then Y axis. This is the Y axis. Let's make that power. And the right stick, I want that to be my steering. And that's over the X axis. So let's, and yeah, you have to put it in streaming mode, I guess, to make the remote control work. And let's see what this does. Okay, wow, so isn't that awesome? So when I touch my gamepad, it starts steering the car. Let's see, it goes, oh yeah, so both directions are wrong. So when I press forward, it goes backward, and when I press left, it turns right. So we're going to have to reverse that. That's what I suspected here. So I can reverse the speed by making this -1, and I'm going to reverse the steering by making this -1. Let's see what that does. Okay, now the steering is right, and forward and backward is right, but I think the steering is too extreme, so I'm going to have to scale that down a bit. This is the steering. I'm going to make this -0.4 or something. This is not enough. Let's make it -0.6. That could work. That could work. And so okay, now we can steer. Now this little cable here is a bit cumbersome. And also what I'm seeing here is that the wheels are in centered right. So let's see if we can use the shoulder buttons here to trim the front steering wheels. Let's go back to the DualShock and use one of these head blocks. No, it's not a stick block, it's a button block. So L1, and then what we're going to do is not this, motors, no, More motors, more movement, more motors, that's the one I needed. So I need more motors because I'm guessing this model block is using the positioning inside here, and if we reset the 0 of the motor, of the relative positioning, I'm guessing we are going to be able to trim the steering here. So we're going to set the relative position to the original relative position, and then let's do some math. So let's add, I don't know, 3 degrees to that. Okay, duplicate the whole thing, and on the R1 we're going to add -3. So that's the same as subtracting 3, I'm just too lazy to replace the block. And now let's see what that does. Wow, so now I can trim my steering with these shoulder buttons. So this means my car always moves straight, and if I don't think it's straight enough, I can just trim straight with my shoulder buttons. That's really cool. So now in just a few minutes I've been able to build a car and program it to remote control. Let's get rid of this cumbersome cable and try and connect it via Bluetooth over the so we can have a true wireless remote control. The laptop will always be in between there, but it'll just feel much more like driving around here. Yes, we're connected via Bluetooth, so let's try the same thing again. Yes, ain't that awesome? So we have here in no time a remote controlled car with a PlayStation controller and a differential gear. There is some things so this is really a big upgrade over EV3. It's not perfect, however, because I think it's rather slow, so it takes a while for the car to react. But you know, it works, and I think as long as we're going to drive this slow, nobody will care. I'm really happy that this MINDSTORMS set supports my PS4 controller right out of the box, and with just a few lines of a few blocks of code actually I'm able to remote control it. Let's quickly see if we can do the same thing on a phone. Cool. So we're connected via Bluetooth. I don't know, I had to reboot the app somehow, but now it works. We have the full range of blocks here, the same as on desktop. We can also remote control, and so what you do is you turn your phone around, and I'm guessing this will add remote control like stuff. So let's add some sliders here. That'll do for now, and see if we can close this one. Let's program it. Oh no, oh yes, it works. I can now remote control the car from my phone. However, this one is really slow. I don't know. It takes a few seconds for it to register that I pulled the slide backwards. Steering is a bit hefty, but yeah, it's not perfect. Yeah, well, it works, and your phone is a remote control and all, but I think I preferred the Gamepad experience. But the cool thing is that it does work, and you don't need a laptop, and you can use just your phone to build fun robots in no time. This concludes my unboxing video. Thanks for watching so far. I think the new MINDSTORMS Robot Inventor kit is a lot of fun, and it's got a lot of great new parts and great new features. I will be producing many more tutorial videos and model videos, so it's a good idea to subscribe to this channel so you'll be notified when I do. In the meantime, you can watch any Spike Prime videos that I made. They're using the same hub here, so they're relevant if you have the new Robot Inventor kit, or maybe you have an EV3 and you'd like my EV3 tutorials. I also have a website. It's called www.antonsmindstorms.com. You can find building instructions there in PDF for every robot I make, and there is a link to the t-shirt shop. I'm a designer. I have a bit of a design background, so I like to design funny t-shirts. And there is also a Patreon website where you can support me and help me invest in video materials and time for producing new videos. So if you like more high quality tutorial videos, you can support me there on Patreon. And you have the added bonus of receiving every new building instructions that I make. I think I design 1 or 2 robots per month, so you'll get one full PDF building instruction for a robot per month, including the code. You'll get that if you support me on Patreon. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again on my channel. Bye bye!